on Titan Sports Recap, baseball holds the Anteaters in an exciting series. Spring soccer comes to a finale against Cal State LA. Plus, tonight we have Janice Garcia in the studio as our hot table analyst to talk about Titan softball. All this and much more on Titan Sports Recap.
Hello and welcome back to Titan Sports Recap, bringing you the best video coverage of Cal State Fullerton athletics. We have an exciting episode for everyone, whether you're at home, school, or even work. I'm Andrew Fortuna.
And I'm Jasmine Arenas. You know, Andrew, it's great to be back in the studio, getting in a show after, a long road trip.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while, but it's great to get back and show everybody what our teams have been doing.
Definitely, and shout out to Lucerna High School. They are in the house tonight in the studio, checking us out and what we do. So, Titan baseball welcomed UC Irvine after a 9-game road trip. Reporter Jeffrey Barner has more on the game. Jeff.
It's Veterans Appreciation Day at Goodwin Field, and in that helicopter is a Vietnam veteran, arriving to throw the first pitch of the final game of a 3-game series between UC Irvine and Cal State Fullerton. Bottom of the first, and the Titans are already down by 1, but Bravo changes that by lining straight into center field, bringing in the tying run. Now moving to the top of the second, and UC Irvine decides they need to put some runs up, and Cost delivers, nailing one straight into left field, punching his ticket to second base. Things didn't get much better for pitcher John Gavin, who walks the next batter up, and just to add insult to injury, Paulino cranks one straight into right field, bringing in a runner. The UC Irvine Anteaters go up on Cal State Fullerton 2-1. Only one out to go, and Cal State Fullerton's trying to get out of it, but a chopper that gets past third doesn't make anything better. UC Irvine goes up 3-1. Now to the bottom of the third, a crucial time in the game. Runners on base, and Timmy Richards is at the plate, and he delivers, cranking one straight into the gap in center field. The horses are off and running, and Richards would make it all the way to second base, while in the meantime bringing in 2 runners. And the boys are smelling a comeback. Now to the bottom of the 5th. And UC Irvine is once again 1 point up on Cal State Fullerton. Bravo's at the plate, and he manages to wedge one straight past first base, and it's fair. It goes all the way to the wall, making the right fielder earn his scholarship, but by the time he gets it, it's a little too late. Bravo's already rounded second and made it to third. And that hype man just tied the game, 5-5. Bravo would eventually make it to home plate, giving the Titans a 6-5 lead on UC Irvine, and Bryant would drill one straight into left center field, bringing in the last run of the whole entire game, giving the Titans a 7-5 lead. The Cal State Fullerton Titans won the rubber match against UC Irvine 2-1 and look forward to their next game against USC at USC Tuesday, April 28th at 6 p.m. From Goodwin Family Field, Jeffrey Barner, Titan Sports Recap.
Baseball has an important stretch coming up, 22-20, trying to make the NCAA tournament, like a 3 or 4 seed they sit right now. They play USC coming up. You're going to be at that game, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to be at the game, and they have an 8-12 record on the road, so hopefully we'll see.
It's not horrible, but it can get better.
We'll see how that game goes.
Also, the men's golf team finished the first day of competition at the Big West Championship in 7th place in San Luis Obispo. They recorded a mark of 300 and trailed UC Riverside after 18 holes. Senior Josh Park shot 2 over 72 and led Fullerton with a steady flow throughout the day. Sophomore Kyle De Silva tied for 23rd and is the other Titan to finish within the top 25.
Reporter Christian Vigil covered the final game of the spring season for women's soccer. Here are the highlights.
The Big West champs on the final game of their spring season look to end it on a high note, hosting Cal State Los Angeles right before the summer offseason can begin. Most of the highlights came in the first half, and we'll start with Fullerton's own Sarah Fajnor, sizing up her defender, takes it to her right, and finds the opening in the defense to score the goal. Rebecca Wilson with a little athleticism there. Fullerton takes a 1-0 lead early in the first half. A huge scare for Fullerton. One of its leaders almost went down and would not play for the rest of the game. You'll see Christina Birkenroad tries to head this one in and lies down on the ground. Something may have went wrong with her neck or her head, but luckily she got back up, but will not return for the rest of the game. Later in the half, Kim Braddock kicks it off the post, but luckily Connie Calles lines it up directly for the golazo. Fullerton takes a 2-0 lead. That will be all the highlights in the first half, but in the last half, another scare for Fullerton. Rebecca Wilson playing hard, may have tweaked something in her left leg. Tries to move around her ankle, get some feeling back into that leg, and luckily she's able to stand and run it off, but would not return for the rest of the game. And that will be all she wrote for this season. Fullerton wins 4 out of the 7 games in their spring schedule as they say goodbye to their fans and get ready for the offseason.
The Cal State Fullerton women's soccer team end their spring season on a high note, defeating Cal State Los Angeles 2-0. The champs look to start their quest for a three-peat when the 2015 regular season starts in exactly 4 months. Reporting from Titan Stadium, this is Christian Vigil, Titan Sports Recap.
Women's softball swept Cal Poly over the weekend. Both games ended with the Titans winning by 3 runs. In Game 1, 7 different Titans recorded a base hit, including a solo homer from Courtney Rodriguez, while Missy Takiaho provided a 2-run double in her return to the Titans lineup. In Game 2, Melissa Secrets hit 2 home runs in the game to lead Fullerton to a victory.
Over to our hot table analyst, Janice Garcia, to talk about the softball season so far.
Janice?
The 2015 Titans softball team is 20-12 and has won 6 straight games. Kelly Ford and the Titans had some prominent wins in the beginning of the season, beating Notre Dame in the SoCal Collegiate Challenge, which made them number 25 in the NCAA Division I softball rankings. Let's start off with the offensive side. Missy Takiaho driving in 30 RBIs this season, and right behind her, Eliza Crawford with 20 RBIs. However, Courtney Rodriguez leads the team with 47 hits in 32 games. Other players such as Melissa Secrest, Samantha Galarza, and Samantha Van Diver have also been key players to the Titans' success this season. And on the mound, sophomore Christina Washington leads the team with 10 wins and 3 losses, right after her junior Desiree Ibarra with 9 wins and 3 losses. The Titans have been on and off this whole season, just like a roller coaster. With the Big West Conference preseason predictions of the Titans getting 3rd place, the Titans aim to win it all.
What's the difference between last season's team from this season?
There's a lot better chemistry. Last year there were little bumps, and we took care of it right from the beginning this year. So, we didn't want the same mistakes to happen last year, and everybody's on the same page. So that's the big difference between this year and last year.
I think, with 5 games coming up over the next few weekends, several weekends, I think we just have to learn how to manage each game, game by game, and not look at, oh, God, we got a big weekend and 5 games. Okay, we've got game 1, we've got this opponent. We've got to do our job scouting, do our job at practice, and I'm going to tell you.
The Titans hope to put all their effort on the field for the next couple of months. This is Janice Garcia for the Hot Table.
Thank you, Janice. The team now looks to extend their winning streak against UC Davis for a 3-game series.
Wano had the chance to interview second baseman Samantha Galarza in another edition of Get to Know Your Titan. Justin, take it away, buddy.
On March 30th, 2014, junior second baseman Samantha Galarza hit her first career grand slam that won the game against UC Santa Barbara. Though she was struggling at the plate that day, she stayed focused on the current task.
That was pretty unreal because they actually walked a batter intentionally so that they can get to me. So it was basically saying, let's pitch to her. Because we know that she'll be an out. I just took it as, there's always a plan.
She finished with a .329 batting average that season and was selected to all Big West Conference second team. Before a game, she fills her body with good food and positivity.
And just good positive energy, such as listening to positive music, or just things that are very encouraging, as well as things that pump you up.
Galarza began playing baseball at 4 years old.
I have 3 older brothers, so I kind of just wanted to do what they were doing. And eventually I started playing baseball for about 4 years, and people just told me, you can't play baseball forever. So I was like, okay, well, what else can I do? And they just, introduced me to softball, and the rest is history.
Outside of softball, it doesn't take much for Galarza to be entertained.
I love just leisurely activities, whether it's going to the Arboretum or going to the beach. I love the beach.
Here's your Titan timeline highlighting the biggest games coming in the next 2 weeks. Titan baseball goes on the road to play USC on Tuesday, April 28th at 6 p.m. and has a 3-game series against UC Riverside from May 1st to the 3rd. Titan softball heads to the field to face the Aggies of UC Davis from May 2nd to the 3rd and host CSUN for their last regular series on May 8th and May 9th.
Remember all of our social media outlets. You can catch our entire video highlight library on our YouTube channel. Just go to youtube.com/TitanSportsRecap. Follow us on our Twitter handle at CSUF Sports Recap. And don't forget to tag us when you're at an athletic event. Find us on Facebook for all updates on Fullerton Athletics and check us out on Instagram for behind-the-scenes photos. Follow us at Titan Sports Recap.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of TSR. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jasmine Arenas.
And I'm Andrew Fortuna.
You guys have a great night, okay?
Have a great night.